If you believed Africa just had lions, elephants, and zebras, you were mistaken. Some shocking and very horrifying discoveries have been made in Africa in recent years. African archaeologists have uncovered several peculiar things, the origins and the existence of which remain a mystery. Africa has the second highest population density and is the second largest continent overall, so it's hardly surprising to find things that are out of this world inside the dark continent, given its massive size. Here are 15 mysterious and terrifying discoveries from Africa. To kickstart our list of 15, we have a new human species. The remains of 15 ancient hominids were unearthed from a cave in South Africa, suggesting the existence of a previously undiscovered human type. Maropeng, a town close to Johannesburg, is home to the cave where the fossils were discovered. The new species was given the name Homo naledi and placed in the same genus as contemporary humans. Over 1,550 human skeletons, including those of infants, teenagers, and the elderly, were uncovered by a team of international researchers in 2013 and 2014. None of the bones are yet dated, despite the fact that they all have an identical morphology. The people are half human and half ape, and experts believe this species known might serve as a bridge between the two. Evidence suggests that they may have been capable of ritual behaviors found only in modern humans millions of years earlier than was previously believed. At number 14, we have Sky Blue Stone, or Sierra Leone. And here you were thinking geologists had cataloged every last rock and stone on the planet. However, the West African nation of Sierra Leone has plenty to offer. An unknown blue stone was discovered by geologist and archaeologist Angelo Pittoni in 1990. Pieces of the mysterious sky blue stone were sent to labs in Germany, Rome, Utrecht, Geneva, and Tokyo, but no one could identify it. What they did agree on was that it was completely unique, unlike any rock they had ever seen. So, one might think it had to be manufactured, right? What they uncovered was that it had a composition identical to man-made materials like stucco and concrete. It seems that the mysterious stone can only be found in soil layers older than 12,000 BC, suggesting that it may be the product of a long-lost civilization. At number 13, we have quartzite. Scientists in early 2019 found another unique rock formation on a tiny island between the coast of Africa and Madagascar, almost completely made of quartz. Quartzite is a non-foliated metamorphic rock. It is produced by the metamorphic transformation of sandstone rich in quartz with the use of high temperatures, pressures, and chemical processes. Even while finding a new rock is always thrilling, this one is especially noteworthy since it clearly does not belong where it was found. Quartzite, which is normally only found in regions with high pressures and temperatures, was discovered on the island by researchers from Columbia University who were able to carry out a study thanks to a grant from the National Geographic Society. However, scientists discovered that it really constituted 50% of one of the island's mountains. But the scary part about the discovery of this rock is, indeed, its discovery in an unexpected place. At number 12, we have stone circles of Senegambia. Researchers have uncovered what may be the biggest concentration of stone circles in the world in Senegambia, but there is still much to learn about them. Spreading out over 200 kilometers along the River Gambia, their perimeter measures 62 kilometers. It is estimated that there are at least 1,000 stone circles and other structures in the region. Despite extensive investigation, scholars have been unable to pinpoint a certain date for their construction. Instead, they have placed the structure's age anywhere between 400 and 2,300 years. Stone circles may be found at 4 distinct locations, with an additional 17,000 monuments and 2,000 smaller sites strewn over the region. While researchers have uncovered some information about the stone circles, they still know very little about the sculptures that are made of blocks and pillars, and the stones stand alone or in rows. At number 11, we have ancient tools. In Kenya, a team of researchers uncovered some old tools, which changed the trajectory of their investigation. Archaeologist Sonia Harmon of Stony Brook University and her colleagues found stone artifacts in an archaeological site called Iomakiwi 3. Over 130 artifacts, including flakes and anvils, were uncovered on the ground. These massive implements look to have been fabricated and subsequently dumped in the same location. There were no human or animal carcasses around, and none of the animals had any signs of having been killed by a weapon. Nobody really knows what these tools were used for, but they're estimated to be around 3 million years old, which puts them 700,000 years ahead of the oldest tools ever uncovered. These relics are the oldest proof that Homo habilis made and used stone tools. At number 10, we have the Dendera Light. The exterior of a temple in Dendera is decorated with a massive carving depicting a strange figure. According to the most likely reading, it depicts a serpent encased in a pillar of fire that is erupting from a lotus blossom while being held by human hands. It's an odd photo for a number of reasons, not the least of which is the pillar. Only in one chamber did the temple not have any fire lamps to illuminate the space, which is symbolic of the Dendera light source. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence that Egyptians used this room as a place to burn lamps and candles, but not for lighting. So, how did they see anything if they didn't keep anything to the light in this room? And why would they paint such a complex picture on the wall if there was no light? The answers to both of these creepy questions are yet to be unfolded. At number 9, we have desert fairy circles. It seems like massive crop circles were drawn across the desert. Between the lush grasses that stretch for 1,100 kilometers over the Namibia Desert in southern Africa are a few peculiar fairy rings that have puzzled scientists for years. It's basically a cluster of rings, the largest of which is around 15 meters in diameter, while the others are much smaller. Grass grows all around the rings, but not in them, which is very terrifying and puzzling at the same time. One might also have this question: why do these rings exist? Well, 2 opposing theories are beginning to emerge in the scientific community. Either plants are contending for scarce resources, such as water, or smaller plants die off at the boundaries of a patch of grass, leaving gaps at regular intervals. Scientists also think that termites harm surface plants as they forage for food by digging subterranean tunnels. Colonies are wiped out as a consequence of fighting for territory. The truth may lie anywhere between the 2 hypotheses, or is it a sign of something else? At number 8, we have the hidden chamber of the Great Pyramid. To honor Pharaoh Khufu, the biggest pyramid ever constructed was erected around 4,500 years ago. It's a huge building, towering at a height of about 150 meters and constructed out of over 2.3 million stone pieces. There were only thought to be 2 chambers within until quite recently. What's more, strange is that the Egyptians designed the subterranean room to be completely inaccessible. No passageways or hallways lead anywhere. Neither the room's purpose nor the whereabouts of its entrance have been revealed to the public. It's very weird and scary, and can leave one wondering what sort of purpose it might have had during those times. Was it used for torturing those who went against the pharaoh? The hidden chamber of the Great Pyramid is one of the most mysterious and unexplained chambers in the world. It's said to be located behind the king's chamber, but its exact location is unknown. At number 7 we have Unidentified Queen of Egypt. In 2015, a group of researchers uncovered the remains of a lady whose tomb was located between the Great Pyramids in the ancient Egyptian city of Giza. The king's wife and the king's mother were both epithets on her tombstone. Nobody knows for sure who she is. But, according to some assumptions, it is believed she was the daughter of Khnatakawas II. Historians have referred to her as Khnatakawas III. No one is really sure, but they believe she was the wife of Pharaoh Neferefre and the mother of Pharaoh Menkaure. Queen Nefertari was one of the most famous and powerful women of her time. She was also known as the most beautiful woman in the world. Queen Nefertari was a symbol of beauty, power, and wealth in ancient Egypt. Even though she lived over 3,000 years ago, she is still remembered as one of the most influential women of her time. At number 6 we have the Stone Circle at Missoura. The Missoura Stone Circle and its origins remain a mystery to this day. The Arabic word for Missoura is holy place. Located not far from Tangier, the location is around 15 kilometers south of the port of Asila. The Missoura tumulus is 55 meters in circumference and is encircled by 167 stone monoliths, the tallest of which stands roughly 5 meters tall. A 7-meter-long stone, according to the locals. Megaliths were thought to have been hand-hammered and polished. As they're set up, they make the ideal elliptical shape. Due to the fact that the majority of these accounts are completely made up, the found area still contains riddles that have never been attempted to be solved. At number 5 we have Lake Natron. Lake Natron, a saltwater lake just south of the Kenyan border, is one of the most inhospitable places on the planet. Animals who come into contact with this water risk severe damage to their skin and eyes due to its high alkalinity. Along with this, the lake is home to a kind of brine shrimp that secretes a red pigment, giving any animal that comes into touch with it an unsettling red hue. Lake Natron is stunningly lovely despite being located in one of the world's harshest ecosystems. Against the background of the white cliffs, the blood-red waves create a surreal image. At number 4 we have Sacred Crocodiles. The continent of Africa is home to a large population of holy crocodiles. They say it's the reincarnation of their tribal leaders who were killed while fighting other groups. The people feed the crocodile and treat it with care. The Nile River in Egypt is home to yet another kind of holy crocodile. Those who believe in reincarnation say this person is Isis herself. Folklore has it that she wards off bad spirits and bestows fortune to the populace. Both Nigeria and Ghana revere crocodiles as holy animals. They are revered as guardians of Nigeria's fishing communities. Good fortune is said to await individuals who stumble across one in Ghana. It's finally time for our top 3 spots. At number 3 we have Mystery Alien Boxes. Strange boxes arrive out of nowhere in a small African community, deeply confusing the locals. There is a complete mystery surrounding these objects, since neither their origin nor their contents have been revealed to the general public. The boxes are constructed from a substance unlike anything seen on Earth, and they give off a peculiar buzzing sound that can be heard from great distances. Many villagers avoid the boxes out of fear, but some curious individuals have poked their heads out to see what's within. We still don't know what's inside the boxes since no one has managed to open them. The origins of these boxes are definitely a mystery, but they're obviously not from Earth. What on earth could they possibly be holding? Only time can tell. At number 2 we have Omo Bones, Ethiopia. Researchers in Ethiopia have uncovered evidence of intentional breaking and healing in ancient human bones. These findings tell us about the potential violence among our ancient ancestors. 10 individuals' fossil records were analyzed, all of whom had died between 7,000 and 8,000 years ago. 6 of them had fractures that had healed over time. According to the studies, the fractures are consistent with those that would have been induced by a club or a rock. There's no way to tell for sure, but scholars think this breaking of bones may have been some kind of ceremony or punishment. According to them, the fact that the bones had healed over indicated that the person had been allowed time to recuperate rather than being slain instantly, which is indeed horrific. Finally, at number 1, we have West African Voodoo. Voodoo is a magical and mystical religion with its roots in Africa. Practitioners of voodoo believe that they may use these abilities for good or evil. Many people practice a version of voodoo that originated in West Africa. It's common in West African nations, including Nigeria, Ghana, and Senegal. Traditional religions of West Africa provide the basis for the practice of voodoo. Voodoo borrows much from the doctrines and rituals of the earlier faiths. Christianity and Islam have both had their mark on West African voodoo. Because of this, it might be considered a hybrid religion, drawing from a wide variety of beliefs. Africa is a continent full of surprises. There is a lot to explore, from the secrets of its past to the dangers that lie inside its boundaries. Africa is a continent that will deliver an amazing experience for those who are willing to walk into the unknown.